I work for the Coast Guard in Alaska. 5 brutal rules that could save your life at midnight. In the heart of the Alaskan wilderness, where the auroras dance eerily against the night sky, a chilling secret lurks. Darkness doesn't just swallow the land. It brings with it a whisper of danger. The Coast Guard is a guardian against nature's wrath, fighting against freezing seas, angry winds, and the sheer terror of isolation. Yet, beneath the surface lies a web of strange rules. Rules that can turn a seemingly ordinary midnight rescue into a matter of life and death. First, there's the peculiar silence that descends when you step onto the ice. It's like the world holds its breath, leaving a vacancy inside your chest. You can almost hear your heart thumping in your ears as shadows flicker in the corner of your vision. It's unsettling. You scan the horizon, nothing but endless white. Is it fear playing tricks, or is something or someone out there watching you? Then, you learn about the animals. It sounds charming, right? But it's a terrifying game of survival. Polar bears wander these frozen lands, and when they show up, your pulse races like a runaway train. They've been known to appear out of nowhere, their massive forms gliding silently through the snow, driven by hunger and curiosity. One moment you're alone, the next, you're staring into the eyes of a predator. Then comes the brutal truth about the darkness. It's deceptive. It plays games with your senses. You might think you see lights in the distance, like a beacon of hope, but it could just be reflections, tricks of the mind that lead you deeper into peril. You have to learn to trust the right instincts. And in moments of crisis, your body's primed instincts might just save your life. Just then, a sudden crack shatters the stillness. Was that the ice beneath you? Heart racing, you look around. The unknown stretches out like a black ocean. Something's out there. Is it another team member or something far more sinister? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As tension mounts, there's the 5th rule, the one that everyone dreads to discuss. It's the lifeline you cling to when the storm swells and chaos reigns. Trust your team, but never trust the storm. It's unpredictable, and it knows how to twist even the best-laid plans into a catastrophic mess. Just when you believe you're heading for safety, it will change the rules, dragging you back into its icy grip. Just then, something stirs in the periphery of your vision. You freeze. What is it? Did you see something move? The air thickens with dread, and every instinct screams at you to run, but you can't. Not yet. The question hangs heavy in your mind: what lurks beyond the shadows? And as you step closer, the chill of uncertainty wraps around you like a winter coat, leaving you gasping for clarity in the swirling dark. The crack beneath your feet feels like a heartbeat, alive and threatening. You instinctively shift your weight, the icy surface creaking in protest. The darkness seems determined to close in around you, warping shapes and shrouding your senses. You bite back, panic, telling yourself to breathe, calibrate your instincts. But the air is thick with urgency, every breath a reminder of how alone you truly are out here. Your flashlight beam slices through the black, revealing mounds of snow that undulate like waves frozen in time. Shadows dance as the light flickers sporadically, casting erratic shapes against the white expanse. Something is definitely out there. You can feel it in your bones, the prickling caution that has kept you alive so far. Suddenly, a low growl rumbles through the night, guttural and confident. It sends an electric shock coursing through your spine, leaving you paralyzed. A moment of primal fear grips your heart. A silent prayer surges through your mind: please don't let it be a bear. You shift your gaze, eyes wide, scanning desperately for the source of that menacing sound. Dark shapes loom at the edge of your vision, fleeting and ghost-like, the outline of a large creature trudging through the snow. Bear or not, your instincts scream to retreat. Then you see it, the reflection of your flashlight in 2 unervingly bright eyes. It's not just any animal, it's a massive polar bear. Each sharp breath you take feels like a calculated gamble as it lumbers toward you, inquisitive and hungry. You remember the lifeline, the rules of survival: trust your instincts, but never trust the storm. This isn't just a storm. It's a beast. Your heart pounds like a war drum as it breaks free from the shadows, its hulking frame contrasting sharply against the stark whiteness of the ground. You have seconds to decide. You pivot sharply, adrenaline surged. The last thing you can afford is a confrontation. No way you're sticking around for that. Turning quickly, you make your way back towards the safety of your squad, but every footfall sinks deeper into the snow, dragging against your urgency. The piercing silence reestablishes itself, almost mocking your fear. Every crack of ice seems amplified, a hidden menace lying in wait just outside your perception. As you race back, a faint whistle pierces the night. Where are you? A voice calls out, echoing in the stillness. The sound of your teammates is a balm to your frayed nerves, but that bear is still behind you, growing closer. You pick up your pace, the shadow of danger lurking just out of sight. Here, you shout, desperation threading through your voice. You can almost taste the salt of panic in your mouth. But as you break from the line of shadows into the faint glow of your team's flashlights, something else catches your eye, a shape slipping into the distance, another figure, but not one of yours. The cold grips you, eyes wide. You realize the shape is human, a person, staggering towards something unseen. What the hell? You whisper to yourself. A horrifying thought races through your mind. Who else is out here? And why doesn't that figure seem to notice the bear lurking closer and closer? Before you can react, the bear lets out a chilling roar, and the darkness shifts. You can't breathe. Somewhere amid the chaos, a voice calls out again, but this time it's drenched in panic. Run. But you freeze, unable to pull yourself from the gravity of the moment. What is happening to the figure? Do your instincts tell you to help or to run? The line between ally and enemy blurs, and the darkness swallows everything. What horrors will you uncover as the night deepens? The polar bear's roar cuts through the silence like a knife. The sound reverberates in your chest, igniting a primal fight-or-flight response. You want to turn back, scoop up your teammates, and run, but fear roots you to the spot. The figure stumbling through the snow keeps moving forward, oblivious to the reality of the predator prowling behind. Something in their gait hints at desperation. Maybe they've already escaped something worse. Your mind races with questions. Are they friend or foe? Hey, look out! You shout, voice strained, but the words feel feeble against the roar of the night and the wild beating of your heart. The figure falters, then shifts, head turning, feebly scanning the darkness. You catch a glimpse. Their face, eerily pale against the night, eyes wide and wild. Then they drop to one knee, gasping for breath. Every instinct within you screams to turn and run, to seek safety in numbers, yet your body betrays you. You step closer instead. Hey, you call again, louder this time. Everything within you wants to hurl a warning, but a gnawing realization sinks in. If this person can't see the bear, they could be a danger, or worse, they could be a distraction. The bear might gaze upon you too with equal interest. As if sensing your hesitation, the bear shifts its weight, muscles coiling and stretching in anticipation. Saliva glistens along its jagged teeth as the creature prepares to make its move. Time stretches and contracts. Run. You shout once more, raw urgency spills from your lips. Finally, the person stands again, and this time, they lock eyes with you. A flickering recognition dives into their gaze. Help me. They choke out, breathless and panicked, one arm lifting like it's trying to wave you closer. But the deep growl of the bear rumbles louder. You glance back over your shoulder, gauging the distance. You wanted help too, protection from the wilderness, from the uncertainty that lurks within the shadows. But do you plunge forward, risking it all for someone who might be equally helpless? A crack beneath your feet echoes in the silence. The ground seems to moan, warning you of the danger, both below and around. Agonizing moments stretch into an eternity. The hunched figure is not moving. Then, the bear bounds forward, a magnificent wall of muscle and fur, breaking free from the confines of shadow. You can feel its breath, cold and rancid, stinging your face. It's a horrifying sight that strikes you like a thunderbolt, and in that split second, you have to choose. Panic bubbles up, spurring frenzied thoughts. What is happening? And as if answering your question, the unreal seems to unfold. The outcry of your teammates finally pierces through, a chorus of warnings, the crackling of radios, shouts overlapping in a frantic disarray, all urging you back. That familiar instinct kicks in, pulling at your gut. You need to decide. Almost instinctively, you yell for the person again. Get down. You will step in front of them, perhaps as a shield, but will they come? A dangerous gamble hangs in the air, slipping through your fingers like sand as the bear rolls forward, muscles tensed and ready to pounce. As the seconds stretch, you feel the weight of your decision looming over you. Then suddenly, the figure lunges to you. You brace yourself, but it's wrong. They shove you aside effortlessly, diving away into the snowflakes. Now it's you, standing alone facing the bear that's now locked on. Out of instinct, you prepare to meet your grim fate, eyes narrowed and feet planted, adrenaline coursing, heart thundering. The world has narrowed into this moment. But then something glints at the corner of your eye, reflecting the dim light from your flashlight. What is that? What is lurking in the shadows just beyond the bear? And is it friend or foe? You feel the ground shift beneath your feet once more, and your heart races with dread and urgency. The night is far from over. The silhouette of the bear looms closer, its breath forming icy clouds in the frigid air. In that split second, your heart sinks, a lethal weight anchoring your feet to the ground. You can almost feel the pulse of your fate thrumming in time with its monstrous heartbeat. Move. A voice cuts through the tension, yanking you back to the immediate danger. It's a teammate, Max, scrambling through the snowy terrain towards you. He must be circled around the chaos, his eyes wild with a mix of defiance and dread. But all you can focus on is the glint that caught your eye. It's not just a reflection. It's something metallic, sharp, threatening. Whatever it is pushes its way into the forefront of your thoughts, mixing confusion with fear. You know you need a plan. The figure that shoved you aside lies motionless in the snow, cloaked in whites and grays, their panic replaced by stillness. They could be a victim, but right now, they feel like collateral damage. The bear lunges. Its speed is breathtaking, a freight train barreling toward you. You feel a primal scream clawing at your throat, but you can't let it out. Get behind me. You shout to Max, your voice trembling but fierce. Max is quick on his feet, diving for the figure, yanking them away from the imminent threat, but it almost feels too late. You grit your teeth and move, stepping into the fray ready to face whatever comes. Suddenly, from behind the bear, that glint shifts, and you catch the form of something moving purposefully. A second shadow. It's not just the bear. There's another creature looming just beyond its reach, darker than the night itself. Look out, you yell, pointing at the new threat. But the sound of your voice barely breaks through the chaos, drowned out by the deep, rumbling growl of the bear, now focused on the glinting figure. The newcomer edges closer from the shadows, a wild mix of ravenous energy and calculated movements. It's another predator, its eyes glimmering, reflecting the faint glow of your flashlight. Your mind races. Is it a wolf? Another bear? Either way, tensions run high and prey instincts are kicked into overdrive. Max pulls the figure behind him, stumbling atop hidden dangers, a crevasse opening just beneath the snow. We need to move, now? He scowls, keeping a wary eye on both predators that are circling closer, sizes up against one another. The polar bear stands its ground, momentarily transfixed between two potential threats, but that divided attention won't last forever. You don't have the luxury of time. The bear shifts, muscles tensing, and before you can think, you hear the crack of something breaking. You spin around just in time to see a hidden ledge of ice give way. Panic floods your senses, and you shout, "We're not safe here. We need to get to higher ground." Your heart races, each breath an icy reminder of what's at stake. The pair of predators begin to inch closer, and then the ground beneath you trembles violently. Run, you scream. There's no time. You dash forward towards the sound of crackling ice, but Max hesitates, torn between protecting the figure in the snow and escaping the impending doom. Then a howl pierces the air, sharp, strong, and haunting, echoing like a promise of imminent danger. The dark shape lunges, a flash of fur and teeth aimed right at the unsuspecting bear. Time halts. Your breath catches, hope flickers, and questions churn madly in your head. What now? Will the fight have disappeared the moment you thought you were safe? Just as everything shifts again, you lock eyes with the figure, something there sparking a recognition deep within you. This wasn't a simple encounter. This was something bigger, something that would haunt you even after the dawn. But what happened next would change everything, and just before the night claimed you again, the ground beneath you let out another ominous groan. Would it swallow you whole, or would you claw your way back into the light? The ice beneath your feet quakes like it's alive, creaking and shifting as the tension escalates. You risk a glance at Max. Fear etches his features, his grip tight on the figure that had emerged so unexpectedly from the shadows. You feel a fire kindling within you, a fierce desire to act, to command the chaos unfolding around you. Go. You bark at Max again, urgency slicing through the air. We need to get to solid ground, or we might end up as part of this damn glacier. In that moment, everything seems to press in on you: the growls of the bear, the unsettling howl of the newcomer, and the almost tangible weight of the freezing wind. The silhouette of the dark predator clashing with the bear causes your heart to pound louder still, uncertainty crackling like static in the air. Then, out of nowhere, the bear roars. It's a raw, terrifying sound like thunder that rattles your very bones. The mass of its body surges forward, locked on the newcomer as if all the distractions have vanished, focused entirely on this new threat. That is your chance. You dart forward, heart racing and legs pumping as adrenaline fuels your sprint. Get moving. You shout over your shoulder to Max, your voice nearly lost in the storm of noise. You can't afford to let him hesitate further. As you push through the falling snow, you realize you're running toward a ridge that looms ahead, casting a long shadow in the moonlight. Your eyes flick back and forth, gauging the distance. The bear is distracted, but not for long. You can almost see the struggle, the inertia bubbling in the predator's muscles, waiting for its moment to spring, and then it happens. The darker wolf-like shape pounces, and chaos erupts. The bear lashes out, claws striking at thin air as it turns, and there's this fractured moment when both creatures collide, an explosion of fur, teeth, and snarls that echoes off the icy valley walls. Come on, you yell again to Max, urgency surging through you. You can't witness this disaster claim more lives. You reach the ledge just as Max catches up, eyes wide. The figure he saved, bloodied and vulnerable, groans softly, eyes fluttering open. That recognition sparks back to life in you, but you push it down. There's no time for hesitation. Help me get them up. You command Max, already assessing the incline. Together, you hoist the figure up, but every shadow, every sound, every instinct signals danger. The bear has thrown off its rival, tailing your scent, claws crunching against the ice as it zeroes in on your spot. Look out! Max's voice pierces through the tension, and you whirl around just in time to see the massive creature bear down on you both, wild eyes locked onto your movements. In that heartbeat of a moment, instinct kicks in. You pivot, grabbing a jagged piece of ice from the ground, a clump of desperation that feels too small against the oncoming doom. But it's all you have left. Get back! You shout, raising the makeshift weapon, your heart pounding in sync with the growls of the monster before you. The bear lunges, and it's now or never. It feels like everything depends on this one instant, fight or flight. But as the dark shape appears at your side again, you realize the fight is shifting, but who will walk away when the dust settles? You have only this moment, and it's all about to unravel. What if the glint in the night held answers buried in more than just ice? What if the real danger wasn't just the predators? With the air thick with the smell of primal fury and raw instinct, you brace yourself for what's to come. The bear's massive form blurs as it lunges toward you, each muscle rippling with violent intent. You clutch the ice shard tighter, its coldness biting into your palm, yet it offers no comfort. Max, get the figure out of here. You scream, your throat raw with urgency. The moment the two beasts were occupied with each other, the fight had shifted your way. But the instinct for survival ran thick. Max's wide eyes dart back and forth, uncertainty mingling with fear. Now, something in your voice sparks action. Max nods but hesitates, scanning the melee before breaking into a sprint toward the ridge. The bear's roar reaches a fever pitch, shaking you to the core. You turn back, adrenaline surging in your veins. This is your moment to buy time. Before you can process the chaos, the wolfish figure springs back into view. Its dark fur gleams in the moonlight, teeth bared in a grimace that dances along the line of predatory ferocity. Somehow, this creature carries itself with an aura of fierceness, snarling as it keeps the bear at bay. In your heart, a sliver of doubt gnaws. Which monster do you trust now? You glance at Max, silhouetted against the ridge, dragging the bloodied figure farther from danger. Each brutal clash between the beasts hides a complex struggle you can't fully understand. But right now, there's no time for hesitation. You sidestep the two of them, ready to strike if the bear turns its focus back on you. You raise the piece of ice higher, preparing for an attack, the wind whipping about you like a living curtain. And then it happens. The bear grapples with the wolf, a frenzy of claws and teeth. Its growl rumbles deep, shaking the very air. But with one unexpected twist, the bear flings the wolf aside, eyes landing on you, narrowing instinctively. Bloodlust fills that gaze. You've become an even more enticing target. Shit. Your heart slams against your chest like a hammer. You whirl around, looking for an escape route, and spot it. A jagged outcropping a few feet back. A potential place to run, but also to trap yourself. You glance at Max again. Get down. You shout, ready to move. You must create enough distance. If this bear charges, affording no mercy, you'll need every second to react. The wolf struggles to rise, but you catch a flicker of understanding in its eyes as it scrambles to its feet. It spins, poised to assist you. Blood glistens against its fur, a sharp contrast to the pristine whiteness surrounding you. Help me. You plead to the wolf without truly knowing if it understands. But instinct responds deep within you, urging you to face the bear with deadly intent. The bear lunges again, aiming to close the gap between you. You brace for a fight, the ice shard now shattering under the weight of your own fear. You've never been a coward, but you wonder if it's more than courage that keeps you standing. Suddenly, a piercing howl erupts from the wolf's throat, echoing through the valley and cutting through the chaos like a knife. The bear freezes, momentarily startled by this rallying cry. Now, you yell, taking a wild step back, ready to bolt. But the wolf answers back with its own fierce bark, as if challenging the bear to come closer. In that instant, everything freezes, the air heavy with anticipation, your heart pounding louder than the raging storm. What power does this dark creature hold over the feral beast? The tension hangs thick, waiting for the next move. Fight or flight? You wonder, and decide you might not be alone in this. As the bear plants its feet, resolute and terrifying, you're left with only this question: what happens if the wolf and bear combine their strength against a common enemy? Just as your thoughts spin wildly, the ice beneath you cracks, sending splinters of fear down your spine. Run! Max's voice cuts through. And yet, you remain, frozen like the ice all around you. Will you choose flight, or is there still a chance to fight? The world narrows to the sound of your heart, a chaotic rhythm battling the stillness. Time slows, the charged air pressing against your chest, as if the entire forest holds its breath. The bear stands still, poised, its massive form a mountain of muscle and menace. In the same moment, the wolf's fierce howl dies into a growl, low and threatening. It shifts in front of you, a sentry determined to protect you even in its wounded state. You catch a glimpse of its flanks, mottled crimson where the bear's claws have raked its flesh. Fear grips you, but so does a flicker of hope. The wolf is still fighting. Let us go, you whisper to the wolf, your voice trembling. But it remains fixed in place. The weathered ice beneath your feet feels precarious, a reminder of the instability around you. The bear's glacial gaze transfers focus from you to the wolf, its throat rumbling loudly, a warning that sends chills through your bones. Then, without a warning, the bear lunges. It's supersonic, a true beast unfettered by hesitation. No chance to react. You instinctively yell and sidestep away, gaze darting toward Max, who is yet far from safety. Max! You scream, but your words tangle with panic. The wolf leaps forward, teeth gnashing as it intercepts the bear, diving at its legs and drawing the creature's wrath. The giant staggers, thrown off balance, granting you a sliver of precious time. You glance behind you. Max is still dragging that figure. The ice shard shatters completely, A painful reminder you have no weapon left that a sudden determination surges. Get the hell out of here. You shout at Max, then turn back to the chaos. Bloodied and battered, the wolf is holding its own, darting in and out, striking at the bear with a ferocity that astonishes you. Still, the bear's sheer size and strength threaten to snuff out the wolf's spirit at any moment that you're losing precious moments. But where can you flee that won't only prolong the inevitable? You know the ridges lead to thicker ice, where movement becomes treacherous. Trapped between the two beasts and stagnant snow, dread creeps in like frostbite. Suddenly, your instincts blaze. You spot a sharp branch jutting from the ground, maybe not the ice, but something you could wield. As you move toward it, the bear pulls back, mouth open like a cavern, determined to finish what it started. Focus, you tell yourself. Your hands are shaking, and you feel sweat mixed with fear trickle down your temple. You grasp the branch and force yourself to think strategically. The wolf deserves a chance to survive, and so do you. The wolf howls again, a desperate sound that slices through the tension. The bear pauses, and you catch the flicker of hesitation. Maybe the wolf's calls resonate in its primal mind, awakening old instincts. Now or never, you mutter under your breath. You grip the branch tight. With a hoarse yell, you rush forward, aiming for the bear's eyes. It glimpses you, and in that instant, everything fades: the noise, the fear, the cold, except for your resolve. But just as you close in on the bear, the wolf charges from the side, lunging for the bear's throat. The bear falters just for a fleeting moment, but it's enough. That primal roar of the bear transforms into a furious snarl as its massive paw strikes out blindly. Chaos erupts again. You sidestep, the adrenaline pumping hard, but then a sharp, bone-jarring crack beneath your feet sends you careening forward. You tumble, feeling a rush of cold air sweep beneath you. And then darkness as the world blurs in shades of black and blue. An overwhelming thought washes over you. Was that sound really a betrayal of the ice? Or a premonition of something much worse waiting below? You wake, gasping, confusion swirling around you. What if help is too far to reach? What if no one knows where you are? The cold grips you like a vice as you claw your way back to consciousness. A dull throb pulses through your temples, and for a moment, you can't tell if it's the aftershocks of the fall or the lingering tension of the battle above. Shaking off the disorientation, you turn your head to assess your surroundings. You're nestled in a narrow crevice, the broken ice beneath you jagged and unstable. Panic surges. The sounds of the forest feel muffled, muted, like being underwater. You can't tell if it's from the depth of the crevasse or something more sinister swallowing the noise. Max, you shout, voice cracked and weak. Silence answers, a chasm that amplifies your dread. Clambering to your feet, you push through the pain shooting through your body. The sight of the wolf flashes in your mind, a brave creature shielding you. The image fuels your determination. I have to find them, you mutter, breathless. Your heart races as you peer around. Dim light filters through high crevices in the ice above, outlining the path back toward the surface. Each step feels precarious. The ground shifts underfoot, and you steady yourself against the icy walls, feeling a slick sheen of moisture even here. The forest is alive, seeping with secrets. Then you hear it. A deep, resonant growl above you. The bear. Its south still close. Adrenaline spikes, and you bite your lip, suppressing a cry. Not yet. You can't give away your position just yet. In the strained quiet, there's another sound: scratches, heavy thuds, mixing with the bear's growl. It's a struggle, a brutal wrestling of titans above. The wolf. Is it still fighting? You want to scream, to shout out, but fear roots you in place. You inch along the wall, breath hitching in your throat. Peering upward, you catch shadows moving against the bright expanse above. The wolf and the bear. It's an age-old dance of violence. Each paw grappled against flesh, each growl a guttural testament to survival. Why aren't they finished? You whisper to the darkness, a hint of disbelief trickling through your voice. Suddenly, a crashing sound erupts from above, echoing into the crevasse. Stones tumble, and you duck instinctively, shielding your head. There's a thundering roar, primal and unyielding, twisting the air with apprehension. You can't stay here. Whatever's happening, It's drawing closer, and the last sound you want to hear is that of your only ally being defeated. Gripping the cold, broken ice, you start to climb, fingertips brushing against sharp edges, your breath hitching as each movement threatens to crumble the wall around you. You picture Max, desperately dragging that figure. You picture that figure, and a chill runs down your spine. What if it wasn't he a person at all? What if it was something else lurking in the shadows? Clambering farther, you finally breach the surface, emerging into the harsh light of day. But the scene that greets you is more chaotic than you imagined. The bear, breathing heavily, stands over the lifeless form of something that makes your stomach turn. Hurry, before it sees you gasp. But the wolf suddenly materializes at your feet, growling protectively, teeth bared, still dripping crimson. Your heart drops as the world tilts on its axis. The bear turns its massive head slowly, eyes gleaming with anger, its monumental form framed against the dying light. Nothing can prepare you for the confrontation that's about to unfold. Can you protect the wolf? Can you save Max? Or is every choice leading you deeper into oblivion? As you stare down the bear, the ground beneath you begins to tremble, a soft vibration rising like a pulse. Something dangerous is shifting, something is coming. And whatever it is, it means to finish what the bear started. The bear's growl rumbles through the air like thunder, drowning out the forest's whispers. Its muscle-bound frame blocks your view of Max, or whatever shape, now lies motionless on the ground. Stay back, you shout, your voice brittle yet defiant. The wolf's growl deepens, vibrating the very air around you. Its stance is unyielding, a living shield as you stand paralyzed. The bear snorts, a sound heavy with the impending threat. It steps forward, claws scraping against the ice with a sound that sends a shiver down your spine. You feel the energy of the forest shift, a tangible ripple in the air, as if everything around you is holding its breath. Your heart races. Every instinct screams to flee, yet your body feels rooted, caught in the spectral glow of fear. The wolf turns its head slightly, glancing at you, a flash of understanding in its golden eyes. It's ready to defend you, ready to fight, but you know instinctively that this is not its battle alone. And then, the ground beneath you heaves again, a slight tremor, yet potent enough to send stones skittering down the crevasse. You take a step back, adjusting your footing just as the sound of cracking ice echoes ominously overhead. The urgency of the moment ignites a fire in you. Help me, you cry toward the wolf, desperation threading your voice. But it's no longer just the bear you need to worry about. Like a dark tide, the tremors grow in intensity, and you feel a rush of wind as something else makes its entrance. Familiar shapes swirl in the periphery of your vision, creatures emerging from the shadows. Fear grips you as you recognize the dark figures. They're smaller than the bear, sleek and agile other wolves, driven by hunger and instinct. They circle around, eyes sharp, regarding you both as obstacles or prey. Max, you murmur, the name a desperate prayer. Suddenly, the lead wolf, a massive creature with sharp teeth and an unmistakable aura of dominance, takes a step forward, its gaze locked on the bear, then shifts to the wolf beside you. This is no random gathering. It feels orchestrated, as if the forest brings them together in this moment of chaos. Stay close, you command, your voice steadier than you feel. The wolf inches nearer, and in the turmoil, you find solace. Together, you form a small alliance against overwhelming odds. The bear roars, shaking the ground again as it lunges forward. You watch in horror, heart racing, as the other wolves leap into action, a whirlwind of fur and fangs. They collide with the bear, jaws snapping, but it's a dance of fury. The bear is larger, more powerful, but outnumbered. Now, run, you shout, but the wolf remains rooted, waiting, ready to defend in a final stand. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch sight of movement near the fallen figure on the ground. The lifeless form shudders slightly. Your heart sinks. Max, you scream, taking a step towards it, but the ensued chaos pulls you back. The wolf's growls blend into a chorus of primal fury, snapping you back to the present. This instant, over as the fight escalates. A crack splits the air, louder than the roars, echoing like thunder. You feel the very earth protesting. It trembles violently beneath your feet. The battle rages on, but you feel it, the reckoning instant just between the wolves and the bear. It's about to swallow everything in its path, including you. What lies ahead? Will the forest claim you? Or can you somehow tip the balance before it's too late? The world around you is shifting, and a new urgency fills the air. Every soul here is marked, and the danger has only just begun. The chaos of the icy battlefield spiraled into a breathtaking frenzy. The standoff had plunged into madness, shifting energy crackling like static electricity in the air. The wolf beside you held strong, an unwavering guardian against nature's ferocity. But the frantic growls and snarls consumed every sound, mixing terror with adrenaline. Every fiber of your being screamed to retreat, yet something deeper urged you to stay. The bear, massive and menacing, was locked in a battle with the pack of wolves. They enveloped it like a dark tide, darting in and out, distracting it with speed the bear couldn't match. Each strike at the beast's flanks, corresponding with the war cries of the underdog creatures, drew you back into this primal struggle. You focused, heart racing, adrenaline surging through you like the icy currents of Alaska's winds. But a glimmer of urgency sparked with each breath. You needed to find Max. Your thoughts flickered back to the figure sprawled against the snow, their pale face haunting your memory. The sense of urgency propelled you. You had to know if he was alive, if he had managed to escape the chaos. Max. Your voice pierced the turmoil, an echo clashing against the icy backdrop as you edged around the fray. The core battle between the bear and the pack raged on, distracting the beasts but leaving room for doubt. The lifeless figure weighed heavily on your thoughts. Just as you turned your gaze, a chilling growl tore through the air, echoing like a thunderclap in the frozen expanse. The lead wolf had locked eyes with the bear, stepping forward, commanding the others with ferocity. It felt like the earth shifted beneath you, invisible cords pulling you toward the fray, feeling both part of it and an outsider. The wolf growled, a primal sound vibrating in your chest, and as if on cue, the others lunged, attacking en masse, leveraging sheer numbers against the lone giant. Max, you shouted again, your voice raw with desperation. Then, without warning, you caught sight of him lying just beyond the chaos, half buried in the snow, pushing himself to sit up. Relief washed over you as hope ignited. You're alive, you yelled, your voice breaking through the roar of chaos. His eyes found yours, filled with a mixture of relief and pain. The harrowing battle above you raged on, fur and claws tearing through the air, and you felt time peel away. You had only one thought: get to him. The bear struggled with the wolves, caught off guard by their speed and tenacity, swiping left and right, but their numbers showed no sign of slowing down. You didn't waste a second. You darted toward Max, navigating through the flurry of chaos, adrenaline fueling your instincts. Every stride was weighted with urgency, every twitch of your body screaming for survival. Come on, we have to move, you urged as you reached him. You could see him gritting his teeth, face pale and lined with pain, but alive. But before you could help him up, the bear veered, its eyes locking onto you both, fury radiating like a winter storm. The pack momentarily faltered, allowing the beast to regain its bearings, and it lunged at you, jaws open, a deadly freight train barreling down. Run, you shouted, yanking Max onto his feet as you both sprinted away, just as a massive paw struck ice, sending shards flying through the air like deadly shards of glass. The echo reverberated into your bones, pushing you faster as your heart thrummed violently. The pack rallied instinctively, pouncing anew, challenging the bear while you and Max stumbled back toward high ground, adrenaline keeping panic barely at bay. Break left, you yelled, gesturing toward a path up the ridge, the icy slope just within reach. The wolf that had defended you appeared beside you, its golden eyes urging you to push forward. Max's breathing was ragged behind you, but he followed suit, bolstered by the terror instilled through your commands. Your heart pounded as you maneuvered through broken ice, the distant howl of victory echoing around you, moments stretching indefensibly as everything erupted into desperate action. The wolves continued their fray, biting and distracting. The bear was losing steam, muscles taut but exhausted from the unexpected clash. Then, in a burst of bravery, the lead wolf charged the bear. As it lunged at its throat, you caught a glimmer of something shifting in its eyes, an unyielding desire to protect and connect. It was the beast against the oppression of fear, a living testament to resilience. The tension around you twisted. You focused on your path up the ridge, your pulse beating loudly in your ears, each step bringing you closer to survival, warmth, and light. You could feel the shifting winds, the air was changing. As you neared the edge, you glanced over your shoulder. The bear let out a deafening roar, the sound dissipating in the air, weakening as the pack swarmed. The hunger for survival propelled you forward, a glimpse into the heart of the darkness, and the vow to face whatever lay ahead, unyielding against every battle yet fought. Reaching the ridge, you turned to Max. "You okay?" The concern in your voice felt palpable, a tether amidst the mounting chaos. He nodded, albeit weakly, but you saw the fire in his eyes. Together you turned back, as the cacophony of frenzied sounds merged into something more substantial, a pulse of life. The teams of the unknown and familiar danced in a wild adaptation. Your breaths mingled with the air, shaping the moment into something unequivocally shared, a bond of survival forged out of fear and the limitless depths of the Alaskan wilderness. Chaos was both a foe and a guide, illuminating paths that turned darkness into light, heralding the dawn that lessened the shadows. Something deep inside you wanted to hold on to that spirit. "Let us finish this." Your voice carried the weight of the promise to fight together. As the dawn approached, you came closer to understanding the dance of life and death, of survival and sacrifice. Together, you whispered to Max, who nodded weakly but fiercely, urging you both forward, ready to face whatever the wilderness demanded. The shadows may always dance, but you were no longer afraid. You were armed with courage, and it was time to reclaim the night. And with every fractured breath, you each stepped forward into the light, a promise forged in shadows, wild and free. Now, don't miss a moment of the adventure. Subscribe immediately to our channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that just might save your life. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and let us know you want more. Flood the comments section with your thoughts and reactions about this heart-pounding conclusion. You need to share this video with at least 5 friends. Don't wait even one more second to spread the intensity of these stories with those who need them most. Your support is crucial. Join the journey.